Welcome back to Kettlebells and Cocktails. I'm your host, John. I'm back with my bestie, Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
I'm stressed.
Yeah, you're in full. As soon as you logged into Zoom, I'm like, man, you look like a mom tonight. You're in full mom mode. I mean that as a total compliment, by the way.
I take it as a total compliment, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm solo momming for the very first time in my life. Not that I've been a mom for a very long time in my life, but Matt is gone for like a long weekend, and I just had like my first evening of like putting him to bed by myself, doing dinner by myself, of like the baby monitor on here. If he starts screaming, you're gonna hear him. So but it's good. It's all good. I'm like halfway between totally terrified that just something is going to go horribly wrong. I don't know why. And also like on the other hand, like super excited to just like have a weekend with me and my boy. And this is not like a diss on Matt by any means, but like I'm kind of excited that I get to parent however the fuck I want this weekend.
I don't know. You should take him to a strip club. You could say you did that first.
That
Awesome.
yes, I should do that. No, I was thinking more like, Matt's very like routine, and he was, advocated for sleep training and all this stuff. And I'm like, baby sleeping in the bed with me. Like, do what I want.
Boom.
Boom. But no, I'm honestly most stressed because we had a total fire drill today with Matt leaving on this trip. And his flight from Providence to Chicago was like delayed, delayed, delayed. And then it was like not delayed at all. It was like supposed to be at 7:30. And then it was like 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, no, back to 7:30. And we were like, this thing's going to get canceled. And if it does, then he's screwed because he was supposed to like get there, have a nice night, and then drop into a gym tomorrow morning to do the open WOD. So when all that went down, after it was announced, we were like scrambling to get him to the gym to be able to do the open WOD to then get to the airport in case his flight was on time.
Nice.
And it was like, that is really where the fire drill started. So now that kind of everything's been like, he did the workout and then he got on his flight and then I got the dogs from daycare and then I put the baby down. Like now I'm feeling like I just need a total shot of whiskey is what I need.
I'm having one. I'm having a little shot of whiskey. It's
I
good.
need to get on your level. I need
I
to.
love that Providence Airport, by the way. For those that
So
have not
easy.
flown out of there, it is so easy.
Uh-huh.
First, I've flown out of there twice, and the first time I flew, I had my tickets, and it said go to gate 12, and I'm like, is it A12, B12, C12? And they're like, no, 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 it's just 12.
Yep.
There are no letters. Just go to the gate.
It's like 12 of 24 too. Like that's
Yeah.
the whole airport is like, yeah, it's amazing. We have pre-check and I don't even know why, because it takes 8 minutes to get through security, no matter when you get there. It's amazing. If you are ever looking to fly to and from Boston, Logan Airport is a mess and can oftentimes be expensive. Look at flying into Providence, because if your destination is anywhere south of Boston, it's like a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, it's great. I will say Logan's great though if you're staying downtown because you're right there.
True.
It's right there. Like matter of fact, I'm going to be in Boston next week, and that's what we're doing. Flying right
What?
into Logan. Yep, next
What?
week, 2 days.
What?
I won't. I didn't give anyone the update that I know there, including you, because I won't have time. I
You won't have
literally
time for any.
fly in Tuesday morning, immediately to a lunch, immediately into a dinner. We have a meeting the next day, and we fly out in the afternoon. So,
Oh, that kills me. I would totally come up and see you.
well, I'll look at the calendar again. If I have any, we may have like a long distance in between our final flight and when we're done. So if I have some time, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me
I'll figure it out.
know. We'll
I'd
take
love
one photo like we always do.
one photo, and I get to see the baby. Not that I
Yeah, I
wouldn't
would
want to
bring
see
him.
you, but that would be
Well,
awesome.
I know Matt already texted me from the airport and was like, I miss the baby. And I'm like, well, at this point, I guess I'm not that exciting, honestly.
Yeah, well, enjoy sleeping in, buddy. That's what you should tell him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
Well,
I was like, well, and he's going just for fun, like just for like a boys' trip to meet his cousin out in Chicago and I don't know, get wrecked all weekend for St. Patrick's Day. So I'm
if
like, you're gonna have a great time. Like, no monitor on. You're gonna sleep in for a change. It's well deserved. He's been dad of the year. Well deserved.
yeah, I have kids keeping me up all night, but it's not for that same reason. Mine, my oldest is a gamer, and I'll be just about asleep. It'll be like one, midnight. I will have just fallen asleep. And all of a sudden, from across the hall, I hear somebody shout, "Go fuck yourself." Like she shouted at some kid that she doesn't even know. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you shouting? And she's wearing headphones, so she has no idea how loud she is.
No clue. No
I'm
clue.
like, oh, kid, seriously, it's time to grow up and move on with your life. But it can't really fault the gamer because I'm a gamer. So what are you
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
do?
also a gamer. I was gonna say, like, should I also grow up and move on with my
No.
life?
We're speaking of games, we are knee deep in the CrossFit games, or at least the CrossFit Open. And I'm tired of it already.
Are you?
Last week, best week. Last week,
Yeah.
best week.
Yeah, I'm so happy with the 3-week open. I'm just because I'm stressed about this workout. This is like right at the point where like I'm glad we have one more and then it'll be done. And I like try to look back and remember the days when we had 5. And now's the point where it would be not fun anymore,
Right.
So
I'm already at the point where it's not fun anymore. However,
yeah.
I think I might get out of this one unscathed. I mean, I RX the first two. I'll definitely RX this one. It's all weights I can do, all movements I can do. And I think I can get away with this one and not destroy myself. But we'll see.
I gotta say, I think this is the kind of workout that like doesn't look so bad on paper and like sneaky wrecks you because I watched Matt do it and this workout was truly made for him. Like he looks like a butterfly, an actual butterfly
Right.
whenever there's sort of any gymnastics pulling movement and the weights aren't super heavy for him. I mean, they're not light, don't get me wrong, but and he's astounding at double unders. And I mean, he was going to hate me he doesn't listen to this podcast, so it doesn't matter. He had 3 reps left. And just after all of those reps, the 135-pound bar just felt like 250 and it was crushing him by the time he got there. So I just think it's sneaky shitty.
Yeah, I think
if you
everyone will
will.
have a sticking point somewhere. I talked with Ben and I talked about this on Scale the Bill earlier today. It's for me, the sticking point is the muscle ups. And you have to decide, can you get through them or not? For other people, it'll be the chest to bar pull-ups, it might be double unders, like wherever your sticking point is, you just have to commit to saying, all right, I'm going to get as much as I can right there. And if I miraculously get past it, then I can just celebrate my ass off,
Yeah, I think the muscle ups will be the sticking point for most people. And that's why I was like, Matt's got this because he can do 15 unbroken with his eyes closed. He didn't, by the way,
Right.
depending on how you feel during this workout, that's probably not going to happen. But that's why I was like, I didn't expect him to get slowed down so much by the barbell, which is where I will get crushed. Well, and the muscle ups too. I'm not that maybe pre-baby and 15 pounds ago, they would have been easier.
Well,
we'll see if I even get there.
As of this week, I'm 20 pounds down on the RP plan and body weight movements feel great. I was doing handstand push-ups yesterday in the basement and I felt like I was going to launch myself through the roof. They felt so light,
This shit works, man. It totally works. It's amazing what happens when you pay attention to your diet and commit to something like that.
Yeah, go figure. But yeah, so the body weight stuff feels really good. So I'm hopeful, it'll certainly help on the pull-ups and the double unders. It's not going to help my cause any on the thrusters. And I haven't been doing muscle ups because I'm in the basement. So we'll see how that goes. But I do a lot of strict movements. So, the trade-off of being lighter and doing more strict pull-ups maybe will pay off for me. So
how's it been for you dropping into gyms to get these done and kind of like reemerging into the boots on the ground community?
well, it's been all right. So tomorrow night I'm doing it at CrossFit Cadre, which is in Hudson, Ohio, which is south.
I know
of here.
Cadre.
Yeah, that's right. It's Jason's gym, and great gym. They invited me. The first 2 I did at Chagrin Falls CrossFit, and those are friends of mine. And so, I was like doing it on a Sunday, and there weren't big crowds, and so it wasn't kind of a big deal because these people I've known a long time. But swinging down to Hudson or to Cadre is going to be a different experience because it's actually Friday Night Lights, and I don't know that many people there, like maybe 1 or 2. So that part I think will be, far different for me. I'm hoping the adrenaline of the crowd and the Friday Night Lights will make it more fun. I did drop into a couple of gyms when I was down in Columbus, though. I went CrossFit Torsion, which is outside of Columbus, and I forget the owner's name. He was great though, and we did a really tough workout. keep in mind, this is the day after I did 22.2. I go in and he's like, all right. He's like, did you do 22.2? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, well, I got a light one for you. It's 4 rounds for time, 15 30-inch box jumps and 400-meter sprints. I'm like,
Oh my God.
I know. I'm like, seriously, bro, the day after? And he's like, yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm like, okay. So I did that and I did well. Like, again, the body weight stuff feels good. So the box jumps and running were great, but my calves were screaming the next day because I definitely don't do high box jumps. So it was interesting. And then the next day I went to CrossFit Polaris, which is owned by Christy Aramo O'Connell. Yep. And I couldn't even describe the workout to you. It was a partner WOD. And they basically said, hey, how much equipment do we have? Let's use it all. That will be great. And so we used it all. And I think it took us, me and my partner, 35 minutes. And then I went back the next day and did another 45-minute. It was terrible. It was so, it was all ab work. You would do, it was running and ab work, and I was biking because at this point my calves didn't work at all. And it was literally like sit-ups and barbell rollouts and Russian twists. And then you'd go run 400 meters and you do all that again. And then you'd run 800 meters and you do it again. And then you'd run a mile and then you do it again. And it was hard. That one took 45 minutes.
Jeez, wow. You've had like so much fitness lately.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not sure I like affiliates anymore. This kind of sucks. Like, they make me do things I don't like to do. I want to go back to my basement and sit on my C2 bike and watch TV.
Do what I'm good at only.
Yeah. I want to program the stuff I like, not the stuff I need. Come on.
Oh my God, how funny. You know what? I've had the complete opposite. I have not worked out once this week.
Good for you. I'm proud of you.
No, honestly, I think I was the sickest I've ever been in my life on Monday. And every parent of young kids is going to be in their heads, oh, the norovirus is going around. Yeah. Homeboy was in daycare for 3 days. And we have all been sick this week. It's bullshit. Bullshit. It sucks. And he was sick for the first time ever with like an actual fever for 2 days on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I almost made myself ill again, just with anxiety. It was insane. It gets better, right? Like, it was just the first time. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's going to be sick for the next year as long as he's in daycare, but then it gets better.
No, I mean, me, like, I get better, right? Because the first time it's just, fuck.
No, it does get better. It gets better for the parents, gets better for the kids. Eventually you start, I think moms just have a way of figuring out, dads too, but moms especially have a way of figuring out like what's really serious and what isn't. You'll always have some anxiety, but you'll know when it's bad enough that you need to pack up and head to the doctor.
Yeah, I did the like nervous mom texting the pediatrician in the portal, like, he has a fever and I'm new here, help me out. And they were like, yeah, if he's sick for like more than 3 days, then let us know. Like, oh, okay, there's some buffer here. But yeah, but
it gets better
now, just in time for Friday Night Lights. Great.
So I know, excited. I can't wait. I'm interested to see how it's going to go. I've been getting blown up today for leaking the open WOD. So that's been
right. Breaking news from now on from Make WODs Great Again.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, that was a bad idea on my part, if I'm being honest. Like,
really? Tell me tell me your feels.
It feels like it sucks. No, it's weird. So this guy, I'm gonna give you the whole story. So this guy texts me or he DMs me. And all he sends me is open WOD, and it looks legit, right? It looks great. But this happened last year. I'm going to point that out. This happened last year. Somebody sent me one and it looked legit as hell, right? Same thing. Looked all on the same paper, had all the rules written out, everything. And so I'm like, all right, where'd you get it? And because I was fully prepared if he was going to say, well, someone inside leaked it to me, I was going to call bullshit.
Right. Of course.
And he's like, I looked at the first 2 landing pages for the open workouts and I figured out their pattern and I typed in the pattern that the third one should be and it popped up. Now, as kind of a nerd, that made sense. And I'm like, oh shit, he may have it. And I'm like, send it to me. And so he sends me the link and it works. And I'm like, man, if this is a fake, it's a good one. It's a real good one. And so then I got excited, and I let my excitement get the better of me. And I'm like, I'm going to put spoiler on it so people know it's a spoiler. but I'm going to post it. And in retrospect, that was a mistake. Like, as I think back on it, partially, like there's part of me is like, I've broken stuff like that before, maybe not something as big as an open, but I've certainly broken some big stuff and posted some big stuff. And, so I wasn't thinking of it in those terms. I was thinking, all right, we've already had all the clues. We already know it's basically Fran, or at least we think it is, and now I have
based off
it.
of the like black and white clue that CrossFit had posted.
Well, and coupled with the fact, like, it's basically been Fran for like out of the 10 or 10 opens I've been a part of. The last workout of the opens almost always thrusters and pull-ups, in some capacity, or it has been multiple times, And so I posted it, and I had almost immediate regret, like almost, because as soon as I posted it, I started thinking, like, I know I put spoilers on it, but I'm like, I wasn't sure I protected it enough. Like, I wish I had done like a black screen first and you had to scroll over to see the spoiler.
Swipe over. Yeah.
And so like in that aspect, I was like, well, did I do the right thing? Did I not? It's like, it's just kind of annoying in that regard. And then it occurred to me, I'm like, some people really rely on the open for entertainment. And that's what I regret. Like, at the end of the day, it's a workout. I mean, it is. I'm not making light of it. I'm going to own to my mistake here, but it's not like I was giving away state secrets for whatever that's worth. However, a lot of people do this for entertainment, and I do regret if I ruin that for someone. That really sucks. I also regret if I sent a message to Justin Berg on this, actually, that like people put a lot of work into this shit, like behind the scenes. And then it occurred to me, I was like, man, somebody like actually posted that and like had to do the work, and like they had to type all that stuff out, and I blew it, not to mention like someone gets to read the open announcement. So I just feel shitty, like, for whatever that's worth. Like, I messaged Justin and said to him, just apologized and said, I didn't intend to. Sometimes I work faster than I think, which is also kind of sounds like a shitty apology as I'm saying it out loud, but it's true. Like, I just work really, really fast. Like, my mind works that way. It's how I come up with so many captions,
Yeah.
And I just kind of flew through it and posted it. And then once it was posted, I'm like, well, I can't really take it down. Like, I'm sure it had already been screenshotted and shared around. And I'm like, I could take it down, but what would that accomplish? All it would look like, it would actually look worse. Like, people would then start asking, well, did CrossFit threaten you? Which they didn't, or they threatened to sue you, which they didn't. Like, what, are you scared you're going to get in trouble? Which I'm not. Like, I didn't want any of those debates. So really kind of all I've done is, like, as people started DMing me, like some guy DM'd me and he's like, listen, dickhead, that's how it started. It's a real shitty thing to do. And I messaged him back and said, you're absolutely right. I apologize. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I called you a dickhead. And I'm like, no, it's okay. That's cool. The term of endearment by most people that know me. So it's, I don't know. I feel bad. It's been an interesting experience though, because I've been getting messages from people. Like, I got a message from a really top games athlete. I'm not going to mention who, but they said to me how, the community is all up in arms about, not about getting leaked, although he said that was pretty classic CrossFit. How everyone's like, bring back Dave, but Dave himself confirmed he programmed this. You know what I mean? And everybody's bitching about it's being thrusters and pull-ups again. I'm like, you guys make up your mind. Do you want him back or not want him back? Is it good program or bad programming? Like, I can't figure it out, So it's just like the wild reactions have been, really an interesting moment. But me, like, I like generating buzz, but I don't like pissing people off.
No, you don't.
So
I know you don't. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's why I'm really glad that you like just had a moment and figured out how you felt about it and apologized to the right people and said your piece. And it is what it is. Yeah, people make mistakes. And if you feel like you shouldn't have posted it, then I'm glad that you are kind of like just following the steps to make sure that the right people know and understand that. I didn't think I was like, there's no way that's real. I did understand the nerdiness of the landing page, but I'm like, there could have been a bazillion versions of that. I thought like, yeah, I just didn't, there's no way I thought that was real. When you posted it, I was like, cool, so but that's not going to be it.
Here's the real talk. Like, when I posted it, I was actually watching the open announcement going, please don't be real. Please don't be real. Like, I was begging it not to be real, because I was getting messages from, like, Tommy was messaging me. And so then I'm getting nervous, Had one of the heads of the, Dale from the affiliate group was messaging me, and like people just sending me, text messages, which always gets my attention. Like when they come DM, it doesn't freak me out. But when people take the time to actually look up my phone number, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And at the time I didn't know it was real. And I'm like, please don't be real. And then when they say they go 21 thrusters, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, oh man, this sucks.
Yeah,
This
I
sucks
thought
so
there
bad.
was no way. I was like, I get that it's and that's not even really a leak. That's like, they put it up and they were like, well, no one will find this because we haven't linked it from the homepage yet. So it's like, it might be a live website, but it's not. So that's no one's fault either. It's not like for anyone out there, it's like, well, why did they put it up online before it was? Well, they didn't. Like, that's how you build web pages. They exist and then you link them so people can find them. Like it's fine. It just happened and someone got real crafty and digging and trying to find it. But there was no, I don't know. In my mind, I was like, just because that was a PDF that they uploaded at one point doesn't mean it's the one that they landed on. So I was like, there's no way this is not
the
real.
whole thing's a weird moment. Like as I'm sitting around like trying to decide how to handle, I'm like, well, do I issue an apology? But then I'm like, if I put an apology on the page, then all I'm gonna get are trolls saying I'm trying not to get banned from the CrossFit Games. And what people don't understand about me is I pay for my trips to the CrossFit Games.
Right.
I don't get free invites to that shit. And bluntly, they couldn't keep me out if they wanted to. I mean, I guess if they wanted to, they'd have to really work at it. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, look for every middle-aged white guy? You'd be kicking a lot of people out of that place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also why? Like, you're not a problem.
Well, I guess my point is like, people overthink this. I didn't want an apology to come off trite.
Right.
And then have to start, battling other battles over this, when in reality I can just send a message to somebody and go, hey, look, I'm really sorry, which I am. Yeah. But I mean, I guess you live and learn. Not my first time to do dumb shit. I mean, hell, I blew up a games champion on my page once, and that was fun. So
oh yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Didn't you like threaten to get sued?
No, well, I don't know.
One time.
People have threatened to sue me a couple of times, but no, that was Holmberg.
Oh yeah.
You remember that when his gym banned booty shorts?
Yeah.
And I posted a meme on it. I didn't realize it was his gym because I didn't do any research. I'm just like, damn it, you can't pick on women like that. You gotta let them wear booty shorts. So I did a whole meme on it. I mean, it was a good meme too, if I remember right. But
I remember that, yeah.
And then I found out it was his gym and I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, you can't blow up a games champion, It's like, so probably won't be the first or the last time I do something shitty. However, this should prove that I am not in cahoots, or does it prove I'm more in cahoots?
I don't see. I was wondering that the second it was real, I was like, God damn it. Everyone's going to think that we're totally in cahoots. Shit.
Well, but CrossFit wouldn't give it to me early. So I have to not be in cahoots because I had it early. Or would they? Or would they? I don't know.
Or would they give it to you like an hour before they announced it?
I know. I don't know. I don't know if it means I'm more or less in cahoots. I hope it means I'm less in cahoots. We'll see. When the cease and desist order shows up at my house this week, I'll definitely be less in cahoots.
For sure. Yeah. When I don't see you at our scheduled podcast recording on Monday, I will know that you've been taken out because of your cahoots.
That same games athlete told me to make sure I have somebody else check my mail for me for a while.
Aggressive.
I know. Threat. I'm like, wow, I didn't really think about that, but thanks for giving me total anxiety now. I won't go outside the same way for a while.
Yep, but maybe don't do that.
I know. I do feel bad though, Nikki. I do. I know I sound like I'm making the whole thing a joke, but
no,
I'm really not. I have had a lot of nice people message and have like kind of an opposite spin on it. And I always appreciate when people are supportive, but it's always weird when I think they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like when they're supportive because they like me, and I'm like, you're like my mom. Like I could murder someone and she'd help me bury the body probably, And it's like, it's nice that you've got someone in your corner and it's going to support you. My mom would not help me bury body, by the way, but she really wouldn't. My dad might.
Yeah. Oh, Roy, for sure. He's got the truck started.
Yeah, he has a truck. He has an old F-150. Be perfect.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Oh
my word.
But it's nice to be supported, but still kind of a weird thing, so
I know. Well, I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad that you're feeling you've figured out. I mean, it was a crazy, hectic moment, I'm sure, when you were like, this information, what's happening? but I'm glad you've like figured out how you're feeling and said your piece, and that's important. And yeah, people make mistakes. It's okay.
Well, so if I've learned anything through the meme page that's different than this podcast, is that things don't live very long,
Yeah, it's true.
good or bad. Like it could be the greatest thing I've ever posted, and 24 hours later, no one's thinking about it, which is fine.
Mhm.
This is like the nature of a meme page, or satire page. And this will be no different.
Mhm.
But the good stuff that comes out of that is like, I feel like I'm a good student of myself. So I just won't do it again. Like I won't make, like
Good.
I've made plenty of bad memes over the years. I'll give you an example. Like I think I've told the story once before that I used to make a joke several times that, you use a picture of a really happy girl and the caption would be when you call a CrossFit woman a beast,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
and it was Amanda Barnhart who just came into the comments and said, I don't know how I feel about that. And it occurred to me, I'm like, there are some women that would hurt their feelings, even if like as CrossFitters, we call each other beasts and, we do all the, we
Term
have
of endearment.
all these
Yeah.
terms of endearment. And
Yeah.
so I quit using that caption and that joke because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want, certainly don't want women to think I'm out here, you know, making fun of them for working on themselves and their bodies and whatever. Self-image is a big deal for people,
Yeah.
so
No, I
you
think that
learn
makes a
from
lot
that
of
stuff.
sense.
So same thing here, I just won't leak games workouts. I'll just text them to you and go, hey, I got this one early, Nikki, let's get started.
Yeah.
Great.
And like literally all we do with it is we like do the workout.
Right. Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. And I probably still would be like, oh, I'll do it tonight after the baby goes to bed.
Right. Well, next year he won't be a baby. Next year he'll be walking, running around the gym. Be great.
Yeah, but like I'll probably be pregnant again by then. Let's be real.
Oh, you're gonna have Irish twins? You gonna do that? Do that?
I didn't say I would be having the baby.
Hmm.
I just said that I don't know. We talk about it a lot, honestly, because I don't know. Like, well, first of all, Matt's old. No offense to you, but he's, old for having
Right.
babies.
Yeah.
And there's a part of us that just kind of wants to like get it done, like get all the really young kid stuff done at the same time. So it's not on the table, but no, I really don't want Irish twins. Thank you very much.
Make it
No.
happen. Make it happen. My
No.
sister and I are 18 months apart. My girls are like 23 months apart. Like it's kind of perfect.
23 months is great. I think that, I mean, he's already 7 months. So like we're past the point of potentially getting there. But yeah, I like the idea of having kids close in age. My brother and I are 9.5 years apart. So it was like having another parent growing up, which I loved. And we're so close. Like he's totally my other half. But Matt had just about 2 years between him and both of his other siblings. So I understand the want to have them close in age.
Right.
I think it would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to talk about our mid-show sponsor, the Mouth Hole.
The mouth hole piece. What's up? Someone said the other day that you should make a shirt that said like mouth hole or something along those lines. Something with a mouth.
We should co-brand it with AIRWAAV and just say, fill your mouth hole with kettlebells and cocktails and AIRWAAV.
TM, mouth hole, copyright us. No, yes, AIRWAAV. AIRWAAV is actually our sponsor of the show today. We are so thrilled to be working with them still. It's wicked cool. If you're new here, I don't know if you've never heard us talk about this before. It is a really cool training tool. It is a mouthpiece. I'm holding it up to my camera right here. If you're watching this,
look at you with it handy and everything.
I know, that you put in your mouth hole, and it sits really neatly over your teeth, and it just positions your jaw in the perfect way to optimize your breathing and your air capacity. And then you can kind of bite down on it, clench down on it, and that increases your cortisol, which helps your recovery. It's like all the things. It's like great in the middle of a workout. It is great for recovery afterwards. And my favorite part about it is that the lady who helped kind of figure out the science of it set out to disprove it originally. Dr. Dina Gardner was like, there's no way this shit works. And she like did all sorts of science, and she was like, oh my God, it works. So it's not just a bunch of cahoots and craziness. Okay. Science here for AIRWAAV. And it's a legit training tool. You should try one. for yourself with our code KC10 at AIRWAAV, AIRWAAV.com.
I like how you had a Dana Gardner imitation, like ready to go, like ready, and it sounded a little bit like William Shatner, which was even better.
Nothing like anyone. That's not what she sounds like.
Sounded just a little bit like William Shatner. Oh my God, Spock.
Oh my God.
He sounded like. It was great.
What? This can't work.
I love
that's
Star
not what
Trek.
she sounds like. You can listen to an episode we did with her, but that's not what she sounds like.
She does not sound like that. She was great.
Can we talk about your experience at the Arnold?
Sure. It was a lot
the
of
Arnold.
The Arnold. I spent a lot of time with the affiliate group. That was fun. That was a lot of fun, actually. Dale, who was on the show not that long ago, hung out with him. Paul Tremblay was there. You know, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's going to come on the show, by the way. We spent some time talking about it.
Fun.
And yeah, it was very, very cool. So I met, a couple of the heads of the affiliate groups, and yeah, we just, chatted about what's going on. And so from that aspect, that part of the Arnold was really cool. It was cool to see CrossFit there first and foremost. Like, they've not been a part of the Arnold in years past, or, did not have a significant presence. And I felt like the presence this year was like, all right, it's a fitness festival. CrossFit is about fitness. We're going to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It also reinforced to me that we're kind of the normal ones in the fitness world, where everyone says CrossFit's the cult and like we're totally weird. Like, you look around that crowd, I'm like, all right, not only are we the fittest ones in the room for the most part, but we're really kind of normal people,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have so many questions about things that I saw posted on Instagram from the Arnold.
All right, well, let's go through all the weird ones. I'll just touch on the affiliate group real quick, just to say that there is a ton of great stuff going on behind the scenes within CrossFit, and we're going to bring some of these affiliate leaders on to talk about it, for whatever it's worth. So, no spoilers. we'll let them do it themselves. But all right, so let's talk about the weird stuff.
Okay.
All right, what do you want to know? You ask the questions, I'll just answer.
I want to know everything about competitive slapping.
Oh my God, Russian slap fighting is amazing and horrifying all at once.
I'm only horrified.
So somebody said to us, they're like, they have this slap fighting thing going on, and you have to go watch it. It's over on the main stage. So we're walking around.
It's on the main stage.
Yeah, it was the big stage, right? So we're walking around, and we couldn't see the stage. It was too far away, but they had a big screen TV and it was on. And it started with these two women, right? Very normal looking women. And, they weren't even that big, like just kind of normal looking women. And they put in mouthpieces and earplugs. I'm assuming so you don't go deaf when you get slapped like a bitch. So it was great. So, and they tucked their chins in. So the chin's all tucked in, and you each, somebody goes first, somebody goes second. And they basically give you a count of 10. And at the end of the count of 10, they rear back and they just slap the shit out of you. Now, when it's a couple of women, it wasn't that big a deal. Like, they hit hard, and it certainly looked like it hurt, but just like they got slapped. When the dudes came up,
oh my God,
game changer. All right. So these two dudes come up. I watched two dudes get knocked the fuck out. And I mean, the second one got hit so hard, they immediately called the medics. Oh, like, he went to the ground instantly. And this is what I don't understand. It's like, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's literally like watching a snuff film. Like, this dude just stands there and takes a punch, no hands up, nothing, just takes it right to the face. And of course he's the guy hitting him's huge, and
huge,
out cold. I'm like, they're going to kill somebody. Absolutely going to kill somebody. It was the most bizarre sport I've ever seen. That wasn't actually the craziest sport I saw that weekend, but it was pretty crazy.
I saw, I don't think maybe like Heber posted something like a video, and it was just like, it was some of the biggest dudes I've ever seen. So like, they pack a punch, but they pack a slap.
Right.
And like, first of all, why, I guess, just why, but second of all, how do you decide who goes first? Because if some like 400-pound strong ass dude is getting up across from me on a stage to slap the fuck out of me, and one of us is going to go first and the other one's probably going to pass out, how do I decide not to go first?
What's crazy is
Like,
these guys have real records, like 15-1. Like they've been slapped a lot. It's just,
I
yeah,
can't. They were like, I saw they were like taping their ears too, or maybe they were
yeah.
taping earplugs into their ears. I don't know. Why is that a sport? I don't understand.
The
There's no
other,
skill. There's not
the,
like, at least with boxing and people are like punching each other until they are little pulps of people.
dude,
There's like
you
skill
have no idea.
involved. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's
It-
Russian slap fighting.
I
That's
think
a
that's what they
specific.
called it. We were calling it freedom slap fighting because apparently you can't talk about Russians anymore, but it was
Dude, the world
crazy.
is crazy. The world is totally crazy right now. Side note, I should say this, it'll probably be up by the time this airs, but I'm not, if not, I'll do it sooner rather than later. But my dad started a GoFundMe for his cousin who is just one of the many, many victims of what's going on in Ukraine, who had to like flee the country. And it's like impossible to, all of their money is locked in Ukrainian banks and they can't get it. And they can't even exchange Ukrainian funds anywhere. And it's just, it's a freaking nightmare. And then like, I know that there's a lot of organizations that are collecting money and goods, but it's impossible when you're fleeing and you have no communication to like
Right.
get in touch with UNICEF. So that's a thing that he started that I'll share because my family is technically, I don't even know how to say it because like my parents moved here from the Soviet Union, so like their country doesn't exist anymore, quote
Right.
unquote. But if you want to get real technical, my family is Ukrainian, so it's
Yeah.
been a real crazy couple weeks, and hopefully going to get better, but I have a bad feeling going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. I have so many Ukrainian friends that work for
Wild.
us. And it's like the stories are really
Yeah, it's
crazy and
nuts.
sad.
People just dropping everything. She just dropped everything
Yeah.
and got in a car and drove and was like, I need to get out of here. And it's a nightmare. So yeah, I'll share that if you see that. That's what that
Well,
is.
on a lighter note,
Mm.
much lighter note, the other weird sport that was at this thing that got no coverage for whatever reason is they had these dudes in full armor, like medieval armor, actual swords and actual axes, just beating the shit out of each other. Like
What?
literally, you're wearing a helmet, and dude will walk up to you and just hit you right in the helmet with the axe. And you
No,
can't, there's no way you can't get a concussion. Like we watched some guy get carried out of there, like literally
no.
carried out, had no idea where he was. He was out, like headed to the hospital because they were just beating the shit out of each other with actual iron swords. It was
What?
insane. Yeah. And they had judges, they had like referees out there.
What?
Yeah. I can't even, I don't even describe it well. It's just insane. You have two teams, and let's say it's two
There's
teams of three.
teams?
Yeah. There's like two teams of three, or
What?
maybe four or five. I don't even know how many. And
Is it like intensive LARPing?
I don't, yeah, kind of like you just run out there with swords and axes and just beat the shit out of each other. It was insane. I'm like, when did this become fitness?
That's what
Like,
I was gonna ask. Like, how is this part of the Arnold of all things?
well, so the Arnold was weird. I'm gonna give you the cliff notes because I'm kind of
Okay.
butting up against time here. But here's what the Arnold was like. Like the festival, you had that LARPing thing, all these guys beating each other up with swords and axes, and you had the slap fighting. And then on another stage, you actually had some of the actual fitness stuff where you had guys throwing, kettlebells to 30 feet in the air, trying to get it over a target, like the strong men. And you had people doing bench press that their starting weight was like 700 pounds. So that was
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool actually. So, there was some lifting. And then the
Yeah.
day after we were there, the clean and jerks were happening and snatching and like some of the Olympic lifting. So that stuff was pretty cool. But then you walk around the festival and it's all like people giving away creatine and protein powders. And there's a huge section doing nothing but like trying to get you to go on testosterone therapy and all this crazy stuff. And then every t-shirt with the worst slogans ever, like orgasm donor. That was my favorite of the weekend.
Master your ass.
Yes, exactly. It's like all of that. So it's just like, it was a very, very odd festival to say the least. But, I got to saw a bunch of people that we love. We saw the affiliate group. I saw Kelly Starrett was there, got to hang out with him
Yeah.
for a little bit. And Heber and Mars were there. I never ran into them, but they were there. And
Did you see Arnold?
I did not see well, he was on the stage when I
Okay.
was watching the slap fighting. So he was like in the room, but I wasn't around him. I didn't actually see him.
It's
So
pretty cool you were in the room with him though.
yeah, not the first time actually. I've been there before when he was there, but yeah, it was interesting to say the least. But it was a fun trip and we had a really good time and I got a lot of fitness in and
Mhm.
it was worth it.
That's
Definitely worth it.
awesome.
Yep.
Wow. It's sounds like sheer entertainment, truly.
It was kind of ridiculous entertainment, but it was good. I would go back. If I could plan it better, it'd be a fun trip for us to make sometime if we could actually go down there and like get some real content because there's some
Yeah.
crazy stuff going on for sure.
I'm suddenly much more interested than I ever have been. I didn't realize it was all so fringe.
It was, yeah, it's very interesting. Like I'm just sitting there looking at it going, man, CrossFitters are bitching about Monster coming in. Look at these guys. Like the sponsors are like, Joe Bob's testosterone theory. It's like just the most bizarre stuff ever. So
Yeah.
bizarre. I just
Yeah.
love it. Love it, love it. So that was my weekend. Big fun.
Big fun. I'm so glad you didn't get slapped.
The week's still young, but yeah, me too.
It's true. It's true.
Me too. I feel like this has been the most helter skelter podcast we've ever done. We've covered so many topics in such a short amount of time. Just all
Good.
over
It's
the
good
board.
for us. Every so often we need to just cleanse. We have guests on that keep us way too on track.
I know, and we have some great guests coming up.
I know. I know. Do we say it?
No spoilers. I don't do
Okay.
spoilers.
No spoilers. You like never talk about the future ever
Yes,
again.
never again. I'm not spoiling shit ever again. I'm not, but we have a really great one coming up. It's gonna be really exciting next week, but I'm not gonna tell anyone.
Okay.
You guys have to break the code somehow. It's gonna be great.
Is there a clue?
No clue, not even a
There's
clue.
nothing.
I'll post a photo. How about that?
Okay.
I'll let somebody hack it. It'll be fun.
Deal.
Yeah. But so the next one will be awesome.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, enjoy your single mom life.
Thank you. Pray for me this weekend.
You're allowed to have a drink. It's not drinking alone if you have a baby.
Ain't that the truth? It's
Right?
not drinking alone, even if he's asleep.
Yeah, it's a rule. I have Beans here and I'm drinking. I mean, it's like it's not drinking alone if you have a cat. It's perfect.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. Now I just need to get through tomorrow. Tomorrow, like once it's the weekend, it'll be fine. But getting through like a work day and doing like the daycare shuffle myself, that'll be interesting. We'll see if
Hey,
yeah.
something weird will happen. Just roll with the punches. That's what
Yeah,
happens when you have
call.
kids. It's always
Good call.
something.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, as always, this has been a blast. And for everyone listening, good luck with 22.3. Try not to rip your hands on those bar muscle ups. And we can't wait to hear how you guys do. And we will chat with you guys next week.